Have you ever felt that subtle, yet persistent tug holding you back from venturing into the unknown? That feeling, that almost magnetic pull towards the familiar, even when a part of you yearns for something new. It's the quiet hum of resistance, a universal human experience woven into the very fabric of our brains. Today, we're embarking on a journey to explore this fascinating phenomenon, this inherent resistance to change, and uncover the intricate interplay of neuroscience and psychology that shapes our responses to the ever-shifting landscape of life. We'll delve into the biological underpinnings, the psychological mechanisms, and most importantly, how we can navigate this resistance, not as adversaries, but as allies of our own minds, unlocking the potential for growth and transformation that lies dormant within us. Think about it. How many times have you meticulously planned to adopt a healthier lifestyle, only to find yourself slipping back into old habits? You envision yourself waking up early, energized and ready to conquer the day, but the comfort of your warm bed proves too alluring. Or perhaps you've dreamt of mastering a new skill, a musical instrument, a new language, but the sheer magnitude of the task leaves you feeling overwhelmed, and the dream remains just that, a dream. This isn't simply a matter of willpower or a lack thereof. It's your brain, a marvel of evolutionary engineering, prioritizing stability and predictability, the very cornerstones of survival for countless generations. For our ancestors, venturing into the unknown was fraught with peril. Trying a new food could mean poisoning, exploring new territory could lead to encountering predators, and deviating from established social norms could result in ostracization. Thus, our brains evolved to favor the familiar, the tried and true, the safe and predictable. This predisposition towards the known is deeply embedded in our neurobiology, a legacy passed down through millennia. Deep within the intricate architecture of our brains lies the amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure that acts as our emotional sentinel. It's the brain's alarm system, constantly scanning our environment for potential threats. When we encounter something novel, something that deviates from our established patterns, the amygdala springs into action, sending out a cascade of signals that trigger our fight or flight response. Heart rate increases, breathing quickens, muscles tense, our bodies prepare for action. This is a primal, automatic reaction, a vestige of our evolutionary past, designed to protect us from danger. Simultaneously, our prefrontal cortex, the seat of higher-level thinking, reasoning, and decision-making, attempts to analyze the situation objectively. It tries to weigh the pros and cons to assess the actual level of risk. But often, the amygdala's emotional response, fueled by the urgency of survival, overwhelms the prefrontal cortex's logical reasoning. It's like a powerful wave crashing against a carefully constructed sandcastle, leaving us feeling swept away by fear and anxiety, even when logic dictates that the change is beneficial. Now, envision your brain as a vast, intricate network of interconnected pathways, a complex tapestry woven with threads of experience. Every thought, every action, every habit we form creates a neural pathway, a distinct route through this intricate network. The more we repeat a behavior, the stronger and more defined that pathway becomes, like a well-trodden path through a forest. These ingrained pathways are our habits, the automatic responses that shape our daily lives. They represent a form of neurological efficiency, a way for our brains to conserve precious energy. It takes less effort to travel a familiar path than to forge a new one through dense undergrowth. So when we attempt to change a habit, we're essentially asking our brains to abandon a well-paved highway and venture into uncharted territory, a wilderness of uncertainty. No wonder it feels like an uphill battle. It's like trying to divert a river that has carved its course over centuries. However, here's the truly empowering revelation. Our brains are not fixed entities set in stone. They possess an extraordinary capacity known as neuroplasticity, the ability to reorganize themselves, to forge new connections, to adapt and evolve throughout our lives. Like a sculptor molding clay, we have the power to reshape our neural pathways, to create new habits, to break free from the confines of old patterns. It requires conscious effort, consistent practice, and the right strategies, but the potential for transformation is truly remarkable. It's like cultivating a new garden, carefully tending to the soil, planting seeds, and nurturing their growth until they blossom into vibrant life. So how do we harness this inherent power of neuroplasticity and navigate the often turbulent waters of change? One effective strategy is to embrace the power of small steps. Instead of attempting a radical overhaul of your entire life, focus on making one small, manageable change at a time. Imagine you're trying to climb a mountain. You wouldn't attempt to leap to the summit in a single bound. You would take one step at a time, focusing on the next foothold, gradually ascending towards your goal. Similarly, if you aspire to incorporate regular exercise into your routine, don't try to run a marathon on your first day. Start with a brisk 10-minute walk, then gradually increase the duration and intensity as your fitness improves. By taking these incremental steps, you're gently nudging your brain to create new neural pathways, avoiding the overwhelm that can lead to resistance. Another powerful technique is the art of reframing, the ability to shift our perspective, to see the world through a different lens. Instead of fixating on the potential downsides of change, the perceived losses, the discomfort of stepping outside our comfort zones, try shifting your focus to the potential benefits, the opportunities for growth, the exciting possibilities that await. Ask yourself, what positive outcomes might arise from this change? How will it enhance my life, enrich my experiences, expand my horizons? By consciously focusing on the positive aspects, you're essentially reprogramming your brain to embrace the change, to see it not as a threat, but as an invitation to evolve. It's like turning a kaleidoscope, shifting the patterns to reveal a new and beautiful arrangement. Mindfulness, the practice of cultivating present moment awareness, also plays a pivotal role in overcoming resistance to change. By developing a keen awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations, we can observe our internal landscape without judgment, without getting swept away by the currents of our reactions. This allows us to identify the specific fears and anxieties that fuel our resistance. What are the underlying beliefs, the limiting narratives, the negative self-talk that hold us back? Once we've identified these triggers, we can address them directly, using techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or progressive muscle relaxation to regulate our emotional responses. It's like becoming a skilled navigator, charting the course of our inner world, learning to navigate the rough seas of emotion with greater skill and composure. Let's imagine you're contemplating a career change. The prospect of leaving a familiar job, venturing into uncharted professional territory, can be daunting. You might experience a surge of anxiety, fueled by fears of failure, financial insecurity, or the unknown. By practicing mindfulness, you can observe these feelings of anxiety without getting entangled in their web. You can acknowledge their presence, recognize their validity, but also understand that they are simply thoughts, emotions, fleeting sensations arising and passing through your consciousness. They don't have to dictate your actions. They don't have to define your path. Now, let's delve into the fascinating realm of neurochemistry, exploring the role of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure, reward, and motivation. Dopamine plays a crucial role in habit formation. When we engage in pleasurable activities, our brains release dopamine, reinforcing the behavior and creating a desire to repeat it. This is why breaking bad habits can be so challenging. They're literally wired into our reward system. However, we can also leverage the power of dopamine to our advantage by consciously associating positive emotions with new, healthy habits. Celebrate your small victories, acknowledge your progress, reward yourself for your efforts, and savor the positive feelings associated with the change. It's like training a puppy, rewarding desired behaviors with positive reinforcement, gradually shaping new patterns of action. Think about the process of learning a new language. It can be frustrating at times, filled with moments of self-doubt and the occasional stumble. But every time you successfully communicate in your target language, every time you understand a new phrase, every time you express yourself with greater fluency, your brain releases a surge of dopamine, reinforcing the behavior and fueling your desire to continue learning. The initial struggle is real. The challenges are undeniable, but the rewards, the sense of accomplishment, the joy of connection are even greater. Remember the amygdala, our emotional sentinel? Well, it's not solely focused on fear and anxiety. It also plays a vital role in learning and memory, particularly in encoding emotionally charged experiences. When we experience something significant, whether positive or negative, the amygdala helps to etch that experience into our long-term memory. This is why emotionally resonant events, both joyful and traumatic, often remain so vivid in our minds. We can leverage this mechanism by consciously associating positive emotions with the changes we want to make. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small they may seem. Savor the feeling of accomplishment, the sense of progress, the joy of moving closer to your goals. The more positive emotions you associate with the change, the more deeply it will be ingrained in your neural pathways, and the more likely you are to persevere. Consider the example of someone trying to quit smoking. The journey is often fraught with challenges, with withdrawal symptoms, cravings, and the temptation to relapse. But if they focus on the positive aspects of quitting, such as improved breathing, increased energy levels, a heightened sense of taste and smell, and the long-term health benefits, they can create new positive associations that counteract the negative ones. They can reframe the experience, shifting their focus from deprivation to liberation, from addiction to freedom. It's crucial to acknowledge that change is rarely a linear process. It's not a smooth, uninterrupted upward trajectory. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, times when you feel like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. There will be moments when the allure of the familiar, the comfort of old habits beckons you back to the well-worn path. But that's perfectly normal. It's part of the human experience. The key is to be patient with yourself, to acknowledge your struggles without judgment, to learn from your setbacks, and to keep returning to your goals, to keep moving forward 1 step at a time. Think of it like navigating a ship through uncharted waters. There will be storms, there will be rough seas, there will be moments when you feel lost and disoriented. But if you maintain your course, if you adjust your sails to the changing winds, if you trust your compass and your crew, you will eventually reach your destination. So, as you navigate the inevitable changes in your life, remember that your brain is not your adversary, it's your most powerful ally. By understanding how your brain works, by appreciating its inherent tendencies, by learning to work with its intricate mechanisms, you can harness its incredible power to adapt, to grow, to evolve, and to create the life you envision. The journey may not always be easy, but the rewards, the sense of accomplishment, the fulfillment of realizing your potential are immeasurable. The ability to embrace change is not a magical gift bestowed upon a select few. It's a skill, a practice, a conscious choice that anyone can cultivate. It's about understanding your brain, working with its natural rhythms, and ultimately choosing growth over stagnation, evolution over inertia. And that, my friend, is a journey worth embarking on. So take a deep breath, gather your courage, and ask yourself, what small step will you take today towards the life you truly desire? What seed will you plant, nurturing its growth with patience and care, until it blossoms into the vibrant tapestry of your dreams? The power to change, to transform, to evolve lies within you. Embrace it.